Infinity Ward or Activision? It's a question that's so simple, yet so very complicated. Who do you side with? Which company do you prefer? Now I think it's a little blurry now. It's not as clear cut as it once was, because now you have Raven and Sledgehammer. I believe Sledgehammer's there. I think Sledgehammer actually just joined on with Raven now, but back in the day, it was two clear cut companies. You had Infinity Ward and you had Activision. And we're in a day now where things are just different. You know, we're in a day and age now where not just companies, but not just Infinity Ward and Activision themselves, but just companies in general, they are they're focused more on the money aspect over the quality. They're focused on trying to bring in new crowds from different games and franchises, and trying to be the king of the crop, or the king of the jungle. And this video idea just stemmed off of just watching other YouTubers and watching other things, and just seeing that there's so many people out there that's in the same boat that I am when it just comes to what's wrong with COD. Like, what's wrong with Call of Duty? Like, why is it the way it is? Why is it now that you may find yourself some days that you just sitting on your system or your PC, and you're just sitting there, you're just wondering, well, what do I play? What can I play? You're scrolling through your Xbox store, your PlayStation store, you know, whatever they call the PC store. You're just scrolling through it looking for free games. You know, you're scrolling down Game Pass if you're on Xbox. You're on PlayStation Plus if you're on PS5 or 4. You're just sitting here. You're just wondering, like, what can I play? And, well, of course, the reason for that is just the core games that you remember just aren't the same anymore. And I'm planning on doing this for all major franchise games that I play, but I'm starting this off with Call of Duty. And I think I can help some people out there trying to, you know, kind of figure out why your Call of Duty experience may not be the same as you once remember. And I think a lot of that has to do with the reality of you may be old school minded. And by that I mean, when you remember playing COD, like when you think back and you start to think and you go into your memory bank and you start to revisualize the good old days of COD, what you call the good old days, which company was you playing? What were you playing? For me personally, when I think of the good old days of COD, I think of the MP5 silenced Red Tiger on Backlot. I remember the M4 carbine Red Tiger with the red dot sight on Countdown. I remember the mission all gillied up. I remember the Intervention. I remember Derailed. I remember Estate. I remember Karachi. I remember Favela. That's what I remember when I play COD. When I think of the good old days of COD. And unfortunately, with these new games, you try to relive that. You try to recapture that moment that you felt playing those games. I remember coming home from school, turning on my 360 and loading up Modern Warfare 1 or 2 and just playing for hours, just clips for, well, that was back in the days before clips and things were like mainstream, but you know, you just remember some of your greatest moments. Now others out there who watch this video have those same type of feelings about the original Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and then you have the younger generation that's before me that probably remember, you know, their most recent one is Black Ops 3 or 4 or Infinity Ward or Advanced Warfare. And it's just like, But if you find yourself in the same boat that I am, where it's just like, you don't really play, like you don't have any COD memories really. And they're just, and it's recent. Like they're like, I've played all the CODs, of course, but those ones stand out to me more than the others. Why is that? I don't really know. I've tried to, if it was a multiplayer for me to sit down and play, it would be Modern Warfare. And I just think that's because I'm an Infinity Ward guy. Giving that all my best experiences, or the most memorable experiences I've experienced, have been on Infinity Ward produced games. Whether it was Modern Warfare the original, whether it was Modern Warfare 2, 3, Infinite Warfare, even Ghost. But I was Ghost produced by Infinity Ward? I think Ghost might have been an Infinity Ward produced game. And now you have Modern Warfare. But it's hard to even tell if who produces what, because, you know, they added those other companies. But I'm just going to go off the names alone and just assume that it was an Infinity Ward doing for the games that I just mentioned on the list. And as far as Activision games, when I think of Activision, just think of zombies. You know, I think of zombies. The only Activision game I could really like remember is World at War. I can remember playing on Making Day or Making Night. I can remember Castle. I can remember Dome. You know, the World at War Dome, not the Modern Warfare 3 Dome, the World at War Dome. I can remember, you know, just playing. I can remember completing a campaign on World at War, and then they take you into the zombies game right after you complete it by yourself on Airfield. I can remember the Airfield map. That's just COD to me. And I can't get out of that. I can't get out of that mindset. And I think that's what affects these new games, because these new games, they don't remind you of that, because they've taken a whole new direction in COD. And I think for a lot of us out there who are starting to drift away from the COD community, are starting to realize that what COD once was, the company just seems like it's never going to go back to that. Even when they try to go back, they give you games like World War II. And it's crazy because they might remaster something, like they remastered Modern Warfare. And you would think, oh, well, that would just be the game that I play, right? But it's just not the same anymore. It's not the same, because you've adjusted so much to, or you've tried to adjust to the new way of COD, that when you go back to the old way of COD, you have the new generation of players playing in that old environment, and it ruins the experience, because the game is just different now. It's just different now. And everybody remembers when you first started playing COD, you remember that you were, you know, you got smacked around a bit. You got smacked around a bit and you just had to learn to adjust and learn to get better. And you'll have your good days and your bad days. And now these games have made it so for every good game you have, you're gonna have to have 5 bad games in order to get one good game again. Every other game is gonna be mediocre. And that's the struggle that we're in now. But for me personally, like I said before, if there was a company to pick, it would be Infinity Ward. Why do I have so much faith in Infinity Ward? It's just different. It's just different. It's just the way that their games, I just don't know. I don't know the exact reason, and I wish I could tell you why, but I'm trying to explain it as I'm sitting here making this commentary. And it's just, Infinity Ward should be the game that I continue to play, because that's where my enjoyment from COD comes. That's where it's at. If I had to sit here and play a Call of Duty, I would always go back. Like right now in today's world, I would always go and play Infinity Ward multiplayer. That's why a lot of the commentary you see me do, you see Shipment in the background. Now, I'm not going to say Infinity Ward is great, because they lost their touch from their peak, their prime. As you can see, because every gameplay you see, I'm on Shipment. Their maps aren't as good as they once was. So Shipment is the only map where you can get good gameplay out of, in my opinion. You have a little couple maps throughout there like Gun Runner and Hackney Yard that switch up the flow a little bit, that kind of gives it a traditional COD type feel. But I just think it's safer for me to say that I'm just an Infinity Ward guy. I'm an Infinity Ward guy. Now, that's to take nothing from Black Ops, but the way Black Ops plays and the way that I play, Infinity Ward just fits me better. Now, both games are still aggravating. Don't get it twisted. Don't make it think. I don't want it to seem like, oh, I enjoyed Infinity Ward better, and I don't make it that Infinity Ward doesn't make me angry. No, Infinity Wars make me quite mad, but Black Ops just gets me mad faster. See the difference there? See the difference? Infinity Ward gets me mad, but it takes time. It's a build up. But I think it's so much to talk about, and this is where a podcast would be great to have, because I can literally sit and talk for 2 hours about this and trying to figure it out. But this is a YouTube commentary, and I don't want to bore you with these ideas, but I'm interested to know from you who watch this video that when you think of COD, what do you remember? Because whatever you remember should be the game that you stick to, or the company that you stick to. So for instance, if your good old days of COD consist of Black Ops 1 and 2, then you probably enjoy Black Ops Cold War better than I would, better than I can. My game consists of, like I said, the original Modern Warfare, and that's just pretty much it. That's what it consists of. And speaking, since it consists of the original Modern Warfare, I think this commentary's gameplay is going to be over a Modern Warfare remastered gameplay, because I just need to go back. And if you're wondering, well, who does this? See, a lot of times, a lot of commentaries I make, the idea is there before the gameplay. And so what I'll do is I'll just go and I'll sit in Audacity or audition and just talk and then just find, match the gameplay to the time. But this is going to be over the original COD. But I'm curious to know from you out there, when you think of COD, what do you think about? What comes to your mind when you think of that? And that may possibly help you decide which game you should be playing more often than the other. If you think of Black Ops titles, Activision type titles, then Black Ops Cold War, even though it frustrates you, should be the game that you play. But if you think, when you think of your prime COD days and your prime gaming days, and it consists of the games that I mentioned, that I think of, then your best bet is to just play Modern Warfare. Now, of course, there's a small percentile of you out there that's going to be multi. You're going to be diverse. You're balanced. You like the COD franchise as a whole, so you play every single COD that drops and just enjoy it for the company. But even the people like you have your favorite games. You have your COD series that you just enjoy. It's just natural. But this video was long enough. I'm gonna go find some gameplay to record and put on for you guys, so when this video comes out, you'll see me on Modern Warfare Remastered. But until next time, it's Chris Jones is signing out.